You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona, and with me always are my good friends.
Jay from, I used to say from the hills of Texas, but I can't say that anymore. So you got to fly high when you're in the low country, flying through the low country, South Carolina. That's where I'm at.
Welcome. Greetings from South Carolina. Jay has moved. We are dedicating this episode to hear his antics going across country. But first, we'd like to send out a shout out to G Willikers. They are sponsoring this episode. They are G Willikers Aero accessories. There you go. And jump on their website. You're able to get cradles for your big jets. Or some other items along the way. They both Shannon and I have had a chance to use them and transport our planes back and forth to different events, and they work incredibly well. I really like the foam and the neoprene. Keeps your airplane from jostling around. This episode is also brought to you by Scott Berryman. As you can see in our podcast, he has his jets here, and now most of the things in my shop belong to him, so he's sponsoring us as well. He is also using G Willikers, as you can see just above me there, that he's got his big F-86 Sabre jet, which is almost ready to go. I got to drop a couple items in, batteries and a receiver in it, and that should be ready to go. But it's sitting in the G Willikers cradle as well. So we're excited to have his items over here, and excited to have Jay here. And welcome back. We've missed you for this
yes, we have.
whole time. It's people have been asking about you, but I know it's been kind of a long, hard. Before we get to Jay, we've got an event coming up. Maybe Shannon, you got something, beat the heat or something?
Yeah, coming up at the end of July here. Good old Shannon G and Mesa AC, because you skip right over me.
That's true, I did.
It's
Oops,
okay.
my good friend Jay
so
and Shannon G from Mesa AC.
know.
I did get excited.
It's okay. I'm just glad Jay's back. So
Yes, we are. Sorry about that.
So yeah,
got to be a little quicker next time, I think.
There you go. Well, I didn't get a chance.
I know.
Next
Sorry.
time. I'm gonna like shove through the thing.
Get a little sign that holds up and say, "Don't forget me."
Yeah, don't you forget about me.
Yeah, no doubt. Sorry about that.
That's
we can redo it if you want me to.
No. We are good. We are good. So coming up here at the end of the month is the Flagstaff Flyers Beat the Heat. And this is a long-standing event that they've had for, probably 15, 20 years. I don't remember exactly how long it's been going on, but July 24th through the 27th. And they have a beautiful field just kind of east of Flagstaff off of 40, little waves back in the woods, but it's actually on parkland. It's really nice. I got it's a dirt runway, but they take really good care of it, and it's so much cooler, at that time of year. It's still a little warm, but typically we'll get some rain, like pop through the middle of the day, cools things off, then go back out and fly. It's a camping event, really. Most of the guys go out there, tend to camp. We used to really get a large contingent of guys go out there. When I was part of the GQF, we would go out there. Rick Disler,
Yeah, sure.
Carl, Carl,
Right,
good old
right.
Carl. One year, me and Craig and Steve Gladstone, we rented a motorhome and had a real nice motorhome out there for the event. But it's just a great event to get out to. And a lot of guys from AMA and other clubs go to it as well. So
Sure.
I think it got, COVID affected it for a while. That was one of the things. And something else, there was, fire danger. That's the other thing, is sometimes it's hit or miss. We're like waiting to find out if the actual Forest Service lets us hold the event because of the fire danger, things like that. But what's really cool is, a lot of guys will bring their side by sides. So, you'll fly RC, then you go exploring, and you come back cool. And you barbecue and grill out. And it's just so much fun. And just really great bunch of guys. Those guys that run that event are so much fun. And they always come into our RC Group's pages and club pages and remind us of it. So I just want to
Mhm.
remind everybody it's a great event. It's really inexpensive. I don't think they actually have it as an AMA sanctioned event anymore. I think they just kind of do it as like it's a fun fly. But
Sure.
so I'm hoping to go. I haven't committed to it, but since it's only a few hours away, I've got a tent and I got all the camping gear if I really decide to go, or if I can talk somebody else into a motorhome that's wants to go.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wonder who that could be. There's nobody else.
Somebody else is working like a dog.
Same here.
They got no time off.
Yeah.
Summer for some reason has been really, really busy for us.
They're working you. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
And I think, and also for me, the last couple of years, I've had to I had to go to Washington last year for I was house sitting and my daughter, and
Right.
I don't know if I have to do that or not yet. We'll see. I'm waiting to hear.
We'll play
Usually
by
it's
ear,
last minute.
so.
Yeah. Usually it's like
Yeah.
last minute. Dad, I need you to come up here before I go back to college.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right.
All right. So tell me the
So-
dates again. What were the dates?
It is July 24th through the 27th.
July 24th through the 27th.
Yep.
Perfect. I can tell you right now, I'm working. The only day I have off is
Yeah.
the 27th. So, unfortunately, but that's all right.
It's all good.
Yeah,
One of
it's all
these
good.
days we'll get
So,
you up
yeah.
there. It's fun.
All right.
Or Jay should come out.
There you
I
go.
got a big tent.
Jay, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. I'm back, baby.
Back without a microphone, though.
Yep, back. Well, I can't find it. It's somewhere in these boxes. I was looking for it earlier, but yeah, I got to find it. Hopefully by next week, another 2 weeks, I should be able to find it. It's somewhere else in this
Perfect.
room. It's in this room.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this room. I know
Yeah?
that. Yeah.
So Get-
That's
we
awesome.
get Kreskin out there. It's somewhere in the room. Use
Right.
some willpower to find it.
It's in his
That's-
escape
that's-
room.
I could
there is
use
what
it.
it is. Yeah. We'll
Where's
get
my
you.
envelope?
I know what to get you. We can get you a metal detector, and you can just kind of go around and try to find the microphone. That's funny. All right. Well, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a couple of episodes where we've missed you, but yeah, bring us up to speed, man. You were there, and then you're not, and now here you're back.
Well, yeah. So had like I said, decided we were going to move, and luckily some friends from my high school and college, Tom and my good friend Howard, came down and helped us pack up the house to get out of there, and we moved ourselves. U-Pack came, dropped off the truck, and you have 3 days to load it, and thankfully my wife, in her due diligence, she had already, we weren't taking like any furniture, so we just had to pack up boxes. And so
Right.
being that we had very little furniture or odds and ends like that to bring with us, just packing up boxes is relatively easy to do. Yeah, so we were able to get the whole thing packed up, and being a bunch of old men, rickety old men and women, we didn't hurt ourselves. Nobody pulled any muscles. Took our time, got the place packed up. We were able to get out of there on time, and no major mishaps. And then I left, and then the wife and I went, and my buddy Tom, the guy who came out to help us out, he lives in Lake Charles in Louisiana, and that's right along the way. So we stopped off at his house for like a week or so and relaxed and kind of chilled out and ate really, really good food, and had a good time after everything. And so we had like a little mini vacation there, and then we finally got here to South Carolina, and kind of moved in with my daughter for I guess about a month or so, month and a half, almost 2 months. So that was very interesting to be a roommate with my kid. So I was on my best behavior.
Was she?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she was, of course. But being that she was the landlord now,
My
the
house,
wife
my
was
rules.
like,
Yes.
she's like, clean that dish up. Don't leave that laying around. You left that cabinet open, So I had to be on my triple good behavior, to make sure that I didn't upset my kid and anything else. But she was gone for the first half of it, so she's still in the Air Force Reserve, so she had a mission to go do, and then she went to go see her husband for a couple of days because he just graduated flight school. So then she went back because he was graduating just like a week or two after we moved out there. So she immediately left to go back out there to help move back and drive his truck back with, after moving all of his stuff. So yeah, so it's been it's been very interesting. Of course, our plans were originally we were gonna rent a place, and we quickly found out having 3 dogs is darn near impossible to rent any place decent with 3 dogs and not have to pay like $1,500 in pet insurance type of thing for each dog.
Right.
And as you know, I have those big giant Great Danes that I have. No, my little
He's got
my
little
Shih
ones.
Tzus, right?
If that's
yeah.
a Great Dane, holy smokes!
Little Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah,
for Great Danes.
Exactly.
Little furry Great Danes.
So we decided, instead of renting that, we'd go ahead and we were just going to go ahead and buy a house. So luckily, her husband, he has relatives out here, and they were like, "Oh, well, we're real estate agents. We'll help you find a house," and they sure did. And now we are in what I call the cute house. It's small, it's cute, it's very quaint, and it's a little tight from where we came to fitting all of our stuff in here. So, yeah. So,
downsizing is always a problem.
yeah.
So the most important question is: were any airplanes damaged in the move?
I don't know yet because they're still either in the. I brought my trailer out here, so the majority of some of my planes, my usable planes, are in the trailer. A bunch of my other planes that were in disrepair or not, boxed up or whatever, still in the boxes. So it's kind of hard to say at this time, but it seems like the majority of everything got through without being damaged. So, I'm pretty satisfied.
Now, officially, just so that you know, I was so excited because I've kind of been a part of this, but I told Jay that I was going to let him kind of, bring us all up to speed. But officially, he's been in the house, 2 weeks, right? I mean,
just barely.
Barely 2 weeks. So it is a very quick, the fact that he was able to join us. I mean, as soon as he said, "Hey, we're closing on the house," I'm like, "Get your computer up. Gotta get you back on the podcast." So, which everything else had been in the U-ship, waiting till he closed on the house. So in all fairness, we have to give a shout out to Jay that, basically he's doing us a huge favor. The fact that his microphone's not there is because he's literally just moved all the boxes out. I knew it was coming, and I told him, "Hey, I told everybody you're going to be here, so let's get your computer out first." Now, having said all that, your intro, I will tell you that my wife and I were talking about it, and she asked, "What do you think he's going to say?" And we were going over all this stuff, and she came up with "from the shores of North Carolina or South Carolina," because literally the town that he's in is just outside of Charleston, South Carolina, which is the beach area. So maybe throw that around, see how that sounds. But she's like, "From the shores of South Carolina," and I was like, "Hey, that's a pretty good deal." She said,
or the sand hills,
of South Carolina. So so there you go.
Okay.
There's a couple.
That's
And if you have an idea, send it to us at parkfirepodcast@gmail.com. Maybe Jay will consider it.
Well, I'll take it. It's like I said,
but
the majority of things here that I see is low country. This is the low country.
Yeah.
And I was like,
country,
flying high in the low country. Oh, okay.
Ooh,
It is
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It doesn't have quite the ring of the hills of Texas. So I mean, you got to get something, but we'll figure it out. So we'll give you an episode or two to kind of come up with something really catchy. And I know you're good at that. So there you go.
Yeah.
So now, the good news is good news and bad news. Unfortunately, Jay was not able to use the G. Willikers, product to haul his stuff halfway across the United States. And I did lobby very hard to get him out here. Unfortunately, family outweighs friendship. So I wasn't able to get him this way. And unfortunately, because he's traveling the wrong direction, I didn't get to spend a week or month or whatever with him when he was traveling to his new destination. So, but having said all that, he loaded up the truck. There was a time, or the trailer, when he and I were talking and strapping all that stuff down. You almost lost it all. When you first started out, didn't a bunch of stuff move around, or the axle broke or something? Yeah.
In the biz, that's called shifting. Yeah. So I load a little bit of
shifting.
of a few things in there. So luckily, I stopped at like Tom's place, and then I had a chance to unload the trailer, repack the trailer, restrap things back down, and go from there. So yeah. So yeah, there was a little shifting of the load in the trailer of some of my planes as I opened it up and I go, oh, that was on the top. Why is it on the ground? With everything else over here. That's kind of odd. But luckily I didn't put the batteries up on top. You know what I mean? Like,
right. The big heavy stuff to crush all of the foam on the ground.
Exactly. So
no, it was actually pretty funny because so in case you didn't know, the Jay was on a time frame to get out of the house. They had a really short time frame, and so everything happened really quickly because they couldn't have the the big U-ship is only there for like 3 days, I think, and so they were on this little limited 3 days. So they dropped it and they had to load everything, and unfortunately I was on a trip, and so I couldn't make it down there, but they got it loaded up, and then we're headed out to Tom's. So it happened so quickly, and so Jay is on the road. Hey, I made it out. I'm doing all this, and then I was talking to him about loading the trailer and getting the trailer ready to go. And when he got to Tom's, we talked again. And he was just like, "Oh my gosh, stuff is shifted everywhere." So he was able to unload it, but it was funny because I was able to talk to Jay as he progressed across the country, and everything seems to have gone okay. You were able to repack your wheel bearings on the trailer, so that looked really nice.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
Got all that.
We did that at Tom as well. So and that was one of those things where at least for the wheel bearings, I thought that was going to be our biggest deal, and actually it went pretty quick. Normally with those things, you go, oh, that should take an hour, and then 8 hours later, and parts and pieces everywhere, and you're looking for the bejesus nut to put everything back together.
Right. You dropped it in the dirt and you can't find it.
Exactly. None of that happened. We were able to put everything back smoothly and easily, and and as I was waiting for the other shoe drop, it didn't drop. So I'm thankful for that. But overall, the move went well. I didn't get any flats. I didn't get nobody's windshield got broken. We didn't get pounced with terrible weather on the way there. Although we had to move my trailer and car. My daughter's little condo area. We had to move it, so it got moved over to her husband's parents' place, and it sat there for a month. Well, unbeknownst to me, I guess the way it sits, where it was sitting back at my mother's place, it sat at an angle so water would go off the roof. Well, when we put it over at his parents' place, we got it all super level, and I discovered there's a leak in my roof. Mm. So one day I open up the thing, look in there, and I'm like, why is the wood warped, and why is there's a I put down a blanket down on the ground to put the planes and stuff on, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of damp. Ah, dang it, I got a hole in the roof. So that's my next thing to fix. But other than that, everything, nothing really got water damaged or anything like that. None of the planes did, in the trailer. But that was the only other mishap of that stuff. And then it was just, like I said, coming here, piling stuff up in the house, trying to figure out where everything's going. And then my wife definitely said, I guess we're going to have to get you that, instead of a she shed, my man shed or whatever you want to call it. Right. Definitely she's like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to have to get you one of those, because you can't, the room I'm in now is my room. And I was forbidden
as I'm making quotations
as I'm learning the rules of the house that I'm allowed to live in. I cannot build planes in this room because it's new carpet. So I'm forbidden for assembling things in this area. And I said, yeah, well, I said, well, he whiz, unless too bad I didn't have my own, my own shed or my own, assembly area and stuff. So it turns out that my wife is very with me getting a workshop. So I'm going to, throw together a workshop here in the next.
Careful, that could cost you a whole new house. Trust me, I speak from experience.
Yeah, well, yes, but you were also my inspiration. But as it turns out, my new relatives I have one who happens to be in construction, and he said, "Hey, if you ever need something built, I could build you a garage or whatever, no problem. With spare materials I got.
Laying
So
around.
I may have to take him up on that, and I'm pretty thankful for it.
Yes. There you go. Well, I'm looking at building a new place for Scott so he can have his stuff here as well. I'm going to build a barn-dominium so he'll have a place to stay and be able to assemble all his airplanes.
There you go.
And
Well, you got enough property for it. You can put them all the way at the other corner of the lot. There. You never even have to see them. You don't want to.
You can just put a cot. You just put a cot behind you. He'll fit right there.
Oh, I got a motorhome in the next room. He could just sleep in the
That's true.
motorhome. So there we go.
That's
Just move
true.
in there.
That's true.
So, no, I love having Scott's stuff here. It is so cool, and I love him. So it's not a diss on his part. I just I poke fun of him when we got more stuff here. But it's very, very cool stuff, and it's exciting because he's excited. He called me yesterday, and I tried to answer the phone. I wound up hanging up on him accidentally, but I called him right back, and he was out at the field with someone. So it's super exciting to hear how excited he is, and he's always at the field. He's like, "Are you at the field?" I'm going, "No, I'm sitting at work." You're off having fun. I'm working. So it's unfortunately your stuff is still sitting because I haven't had a chance to go do anything with it. But this one came actually from his place. He was in Denver, and some of the guys were up there for Warbirds Over the Rockies, and he was like, "Hey man, can you take this back down to Mike?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." So he threw it in the van and brought it down. So it's almost ready to go. I just have to do a little work on it, but. Well, the part of the reason that Jay missed the last one is moving into the new house. He didn't have any internet, so now that he does have it, we're excited about that. And this is what kind of took. We were hoping it was going to be the last episode, but he was like, "Yep, still waiting on the internet to get installed." So it takes a little longer, evidently, in South Carolina to get your internet than in some other places. So, but we're excited that you're out there because now we've got new fields, right? There's been a couple. I think you were out there visiting your daughter and went and visited a couple of those fields.
Yeah. If you check back in some of the episodes, they're right up the road.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited to hear about those. It also puts them well within a couple hours drive of the Holly Springs guys. They're just up the road now too.
I think maybe that's barely 2 hours away, if that.
Nice.
Probably a little longer because at least it's 3 hours from Charlotte to Charleston. That's about a 2.5, 3 hour drive, and then another hour or two up there. So, but it is pretty close. And if we work it out right, he can drive up to Charlotte, pick me up at the airport, and then we can kind of cruise up there. So, Doug may expect us once or twice to pop in on him. So I'm sure he's a listener. So I'm sure he'll probably be sending me notes here. Now that he found out that Jay's close, we'll have to make that happen. So, but we're excited, and this project that he has that going to build a little place for him to kind of build to allow him to get a little more room and start putting planes together. And now we can start hearing about the antics of what's happening out on the East Coast. Although the time zones are a little bit different, so we had to kind of figure that out. I'm used to being a little closer in time. This one was, hey, we got to do it at much earlier. Otherwise Jay's like, midnight here. So we had to got to figure that out. I haven't. It's kind of funny because when Jay and I first started doing this podcast, he was in Alaska. So I have literally stayed in one place while he moved time zone to time zone to time zone. Now he's like all the way on the other time zone. So before he was way earlier than me, and now he's like way later than me. So,
well, I move into Guam, so it'll be international.
Okay, there you go.
soon.
We'll
No,
be
I'm just kidding,
international. Yeah, okay, that's what we need. Somebody in Guam, somebody here in Arizona, and then Jay out on the East Coast. All right. Well, very, very cool. Well, we're excited that you're here and you're starting to unpack all your stuff and getting your stuff ready to go. It's always.
In fact, I even found my next project.
Uh-oh.
That showed up right before I moved.
Oh, look at that. It's a nice white box of tape.
It's got some interesting writing on one end.
Some writing on the side of it, yeah.
That's right. Brush
Do
up on your
Do you need
Mandarin.
me to translate? Yeah, do you need me to translate for that?
Brush up on your Mandarin. Oh, let's see. That says, you were a winner. It says you're a winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
Says for Geely, major award.
For Geely. Yeah, that's right. A major award for Geely. Must be Italian.
It may look a little familiar.
Oh,
Oh,
I've seen that
yeah.
before,
Look
huh?
at that. I have. Yeah. Very nice. So that did show up. Very, very cool.
Yep.
Oh, you can put it on the list of projects. Oh, yeah, look at that. I think AK Mike has something that looks like that too. Good. Well, we're going to be excited about what color you're going to paint it. Or you're just
I'm
gonna
going
leave
to
it
keep
all
it
orange?
mostly orange still. I'm going to go with the theme. So minimal painting, but
Minimal painting.
some stickers or two, and I should be good to go.
So if it's me, I would just look right on your chest and go with that color blue, and just
Yeah.
put a couple blue stripes on it, and then you too could have a Park Fire Podcast airplane. So
Oh,
just
there
like
you
what's
go.
on your shirt, right?
Some
So we got the
custom-
orange. That's our older shirt, so it's got orange and blue, and it's got that color blue. See, so there you go. Yeah, our new ones are lime green and black. So, but those are great colors. So the airplane kind of matches it. We're excited to hear what happens. So, and then I know that last time Jay and I were talking, I was on Google Maps. He and I were talking when they got to the new house, and I was on Google Maps looking all over his house, like where he's at, and I was looking for all the fields and everything. And I'm like, hey man, there's a field right down, like literally 5 houses down from where you live. And he's like, no, there's not. And anyway, he was looking one direction and I was looking the other direction. And so finally we connected on the right direction. So did you ever get down there? Because you and I
sure.
haven't talked.
I mean, quite literally after you got off the phone, I jumped in a car.
Oh, did you?
And drove over there. Yeah.
Because I was at work. I was at work for the last couple of days, and he and I talked while I was on my way to work. So I haven't talked to Jay since I left for work. So when we were talking about it, so this is the first time I'm hearing it as well. So
right.
I figured it wouldn't take you long to go down and check it out.
So I found the field, and it's very it's not unusual, but I haven't quite found out who owns it and like what it's about.
Right.
But it seems to be owned by the city, I think. It's
Really?
that whole area is surrounded by a chain link fence.
Okay.
But the chain link fence is open. Like there's ways to open it up to walk in there or drive a car in there. And they're all
okay.
unlocked.
Hmm.
And you can just walk in, do whatever. So I'm like,
Very
that's kind of odd,
Yeah.
And like one side of it, it's like where the road goes around. It's like it's an undeveloped road. It's kind of weird,
Oh.
but other than that, it's in the neighborhood. So either there was a building there or something before and they tore it down, or it's always just been a field. I don't know, but it has potential. So I just need to, see, drive down there again, or see somebody out in their yard or something and ask them, hey, what's with that field? And ask them some questions. Unfortunately, there was nobody around that I could, ask at the time I drove around. But the field has a potential of being a good flying field for trying some stuff out.
Yeah. Maybe try on the weekend. That's usually when most of us like to go fly.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, weekends are good.
Right now, weekends and weekdays don't mean much to me right now. It's just
Right.
it's like what fire do I have
most
to
of the
put out
days,
today?
most of the days look like unpacking. That's what it looks.
Yeah, that's what they
I
look
don't know
like.
what the day. I don't know what the day of the week, the date, or the month or year. It just looks like a box to me.
Yeah,
I've been
or
there.
it's like, oh, I got to go talk to the lady who gives permits. Can I see her now? Let's see if let me Google that. Are they open now?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. But the nice part about all that is I'm a lot closer to civilization. So, like I was just talking about this permit lady, I literally can just walk down the road 2 blocks down and go to the permitting office, or go to the post office. That's 3 minutes, a 3-minute walk from my house. In fact, I had to go see I have to get a new doctor and everything. 5-minute walk to get to the doctor's office. So
It's great.
Nice.
It's great.
Not to say it's making me happy that I can walk to my doctor's office, but it sure is convenient, because they called me up. They're like, oh, hey, we need you to come back and do blah, blah, blah. And I come back and I show up in the office. They're like, oh, well, what are you doing here? I'm like, you said you need me to do some more tests. And they're like, oh, we thought you were going to schedule those. And I'm like, yeah, I just walked down here. You just said you needed me to be here. Can we do the test? And they're like, yeah. Okay, great.
Nice.
So
5 minutes.
It's quite nice.
Now there is a downside to all of this wonderfulness. The location is fairly close to an airport, and so that field that he's talking about is on the approach end of an airport. So I think the airport's not quite within walking distance,
5
but
miles
close.
away.
Yeah, but anyway, there is an airport right there too. So we were talking about that too. We're trying to get it to see, and my field is right next to an airport as well, and it works fine. So we're hoping that all the locations that he finds are fairly decent. So, well, very cool. We are out of time, so we will let you get back to unpacking.
Darn.
Shannon, got anything you want to bring up, cover?
Just trying to beat the heat, literally. It's really hot. When I went flying on Saturday morning, but it was like roasted by 10 o'clock. I'm like out of here.
Yeah.
So just trying to stay
brutal.
cool and maybe work on some stuff if I can sneak it past the wife to work. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. So,
but
well,
just glad to have you back, Jay. That's the most important thing. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, it is good to have back.
Thanks.
I promise I won't skip Shannon next time. I totally spaced that. I was so excited about it. Well, he kind of caught me off with the whole fly high to low thing, and then I had that in the back of my head. So sorry, I didn't mean to skip Shannon. He's done a really good job.
Good.
Having said all that, if you're a listener and you were at a club, we are trying to put together an episode where we have club presidents that we can put together to do kind of a best practice and kind of do a little round table. We've had a couple of presidents reach out to us, and so we're trying to get that put together. And Shannon is heading that up. But if you are in a club and you if you're president of a club or you think your president of your club would like to participate, please email us at theparkfirepodcast@gmail.com. You can send us a note there. We'll be happy to respond and make sure that we can get them in and we can, kind of have a couple. We'd like to have, 3 or 4 or 5 presidents and then kind of all get them together to kind of hear their, their stories and best practices for them and what their clubs bring to them and all that kind of good stuff. So having said all that, reach out to us if that's in your wheelhouse. Beat the Heat's on the horizon. I am just working like a dog, for the rest of this, holiday. The 4th of July is behind us. And so now it's like, just got to finish the rest of it up. For some reason, this is a very, very big travel year. We're shorthanded and everybody's moving around. So they've got me hopping. Jay's going to continue to unpack, but for now, I'm Michael in Arizona.
I'm Jay in the low country of South Carolina.
And Shannon G still in Mesa AZ.
Oh, AC.
Special shout out to Shannon G for the second time. All righty, man. We appreciate everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Let's fly.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.